Hello there, this is Divine TV. My name is Kemi Iwalesin, your host on this beautiful show, She World. She World is where we discuss everything about the female gender, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the very beautiful. My guest today is a beautiful lady, a lady with a very beautiful heart. Folusho Liasu. You're welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
You have a foundation that deals with people living with disability. How easy has it been?
Easy. I wouldn't use that word, but it's been fulfilling.
Okay.
We're changing the narratives, and things are changing. The perception about disability that is linked to poverty, is linked to spirituality, is linked to this and that. It is changing. So we thank God for the journey so far. We are not yet there, but we are getting there.
Okay, thank you. I know you don't have any child with disability. I know your children. What prompted you to choose this?
Well, naturally, I'm a passionate person. Like I said, I love changing narratives. I love changing the negative into positive. You know me with domestic violence, widowhood, rights of widows, and all that. And so I came upon this woman, that was talking about her child, and I had to inbox her. So I discovered I was deeper than that. I've never really put my mind to persons with disability. I just see them as one of us. I didn't know they were facing a lot of discrimination, stigma, and our culture is not, is not an advantage to them. And that is how I started. I was like, I'm going to make an impact here.
Thank you. One thing I've realized, especially in our society, is that when people have children living with disability, a lot of times they keep them from the public. You will see somebody that has 5 children, and when you go to their house, they will say they have 4 children, and they will introduce the 4 children to you, keeping that one child away. What is the biggest challenge parents are facing, especially the mothers?
Like I said, especially in Africa, Nigeria, our culture, our beliefs, so we have so many superstition and everything. Oh, albino is this one is this, the child is a snake child, and even the educated ones. That is number one embargo that is affecting children and caregivers or parents of children living with disabilities. Once they see the child, they'll be like, what's happening? The negative vibes. So they would rather keep the child away from the public. Things are getting different. But apart from that, support. Disability itself is expensive to manage. We are talking about therapies. We are talking about going to the hospital because they have to follow up on medicals, school. The specials, they need to get a facilitator for those that can afford it. Everything is expensive. So they would rather keep the child at home, just feeding the child, just leaving the child there.
How come we have so many mothers with children living with disability? Where are their fathers?
I go back to our culture. There's a Yoruba saying, forgive me, ọmọ tó bá dá ti bàbá ẹ̀ ni, èyí tó bá dẹ̀ ṣe kìíní, means that the child that is good belongs to the father, and the other way is the mother. So it's a lot of men don't understand what it is. They don't accept the fact that they can have a child with disability. The first thing they will tell you is that it's not in my family. I don't know where you got the child from, and so they will leave their mother to these mothers to their fate. Even apart from the child living with disability, with the child living and the other children, these men will just abandon, these mothers with their children. So that's why we have, high rate of single mothers that have children living with disabilities.
Wow. So disability of the children actually make men to leave their wives.
Yes, yes, yes.
I've seen it before. This is not in our family. I don't know where you brought this cursed child from. A lot of things are being said.
Yes.
And we now wonder, what should these women do? Should they throw their children away?
Mothers will always be mothers. No, there's a bond. No matter how the child is, no matter, there's this bond, there's a... But funny enough, we have some fathers that are doing, what mothers normally do, naturally do in Nigeria. There are some mothers that have left the children, and the fathers are the one, taking care, although it's rare.
Yeah.
It is rare. So these mothers, all they need is support.
Empathy is the watchword.
Yes.
Empathy. That leads to my next question. What role is the society playing in making life difficult for these children and their carers?
The society, especially in Africa, Nigeria, is making life difficult because, number one, like I said, our culture. We have to do away with our superstition. The child is a witch, this one. No, it's all medical. It could be due to medical negligence. It could be due to disease and so many factors. Some, we don't know the cause. So society has to do with all these wrong narratives. Those things are affecting children living with disabilities, affecting the parents. These children can thrive. A lot of them can thrive. We've seen it. You understand? But when the society does not believe in them, it makes life difficult for them. Apart from the society, our support system, even in the government role and all other private sectors is low compared to developed countries. They need support in every area, educational. It should be free when it comes to children with special needs. Even medical, it shouldn't be expensive. They should have access to many things, to a lot of things. They are not different from every other child. All they need is that extra support to be able to thrive.
Yes, everybody deserves love. Everybody wants love. Everybody wants to be cared for.
Yes, everybody.
So it doesn't matter whether the person has a disability or not. And one other thing I need us to discuss is this: our society, some of these children become this disabled from still our system. Because I know some of them that have cerebral palsy, CP. What leads to it is our Hebrew women.
Yes, that's another
delivery.
factor.
The man will say, nobody has ever done CS in my family. The mother-in-law will say, so prolonged labor a lot of times makes these children to come out this way. Then you abandon the child eventually. So there are a lot of things we need to do about enlightening people.
Yes.
Unfortunately, even educated people.
Yes.
You see a graduate will say, no, they've never done this in my family. And another group of people are we Christians.
There
was something somebody told me a few weeks ago, that a lot of times, most of the cases they bring to the hospital that has lost hope are Christians. Because we don't take action on time. Faith. Even the Bible says faith without works is dead. So the point is, a lot of times we do these things that will lead to another problem. Then we begin to blame another person. I think I agree with you. We need to change the narratives.
Yes, even the church, it starts from the church. There should be enlightenment. Dramas. There was this time in my church that we acted drama on cesarean section, educating people that as long as you see your child, whatever safe method is good. I had my 2 babies with cesarean section. I'm seeing my babies and I'm happy they are healthy. We should do away with all this negative. It's God that created this doctor. It's God that gave them wisdom. Doctors have been, far back from the Bible. So I don't know why we will endanger our lives because of some religious and all that.
We are going to continue on this. We'll go on a short break now. And when we come back, we'll still discuss more on how we are treating people living with disability in our society.
Enjoy inspirational, informative, and soul-lifting Christian programs such as Christian Parenting and Homefront, Light After Darkness, Fulfilling the Mandate, Kids and Bible, Movies Review, Shepherd's Spouse, Kingdom Stars, Teens Perspectives, My Next Gospel Event, and lots more on Divine Television. Download Divine TV mobile app on Google Play Store or watch on our YouTube channel. You can also visit www.tvdivine.net. Divine TV, enriching souls through the gospel of Christ.
You're welcome back. If you are just joining us, we've been discussing people living with disability and how we are treating them in the society. Folusho, when we talk about people living with disability, a lot of times people think they are only the people that may be crippled, maybe the people, blind and all that. Who else can we say are people living with disability, aside from the physical ones we can always see?
Okay, the disabilities is inability to participate in normal day-to-day activities due to a mental condition or a physical condition.
Okay.
When you're talking about physical disability, those are the ones with polio, with legs issues, with maybe hand issues. They don't have one hand, or the hands have issues and everything. Nothing that has to do with the brain.
Okay.
You understand? They can function well as long as they have some assistive device to help them. Some don't even need assistive device. Maybe the crutches, maybe
Okay.
to limp and all that. It's just physical. Even the deaf is physical too. They can't hear, but at least they can do some other things. But we also have the one that has to do with the mental, intellectual disability, that has to do with the brain. They're not able to function properly in some areas, but because the brain is affected, like autism, like Down syndrome, and so many. There are thousands of different types of disabilities.
Yeah, I know. And the beauty of it is, I've seen a lot of people who even have CP have become
Palsy.
lawyers.
Yes.
I'm wondering, it's mental. Even the people that seems normal are not even as intelligent as some of them are.
Yeah.
So I agree with you that support is all they need for them to be able to achieve their utmost.
Even with CP, there's a debate that is not actually intellectual disability. And then, there are different spectrums.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So there are different levels to it. Some just the motor system, just the hands and leg and everything, but they still have some features, while some is really critical. Do you understand? So there are different categories to cerebral palsy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So that means if you just label everybody as one and treat them as one, we won't get the best out of them.
No, we are all different. Even if you don't have an obvious disability, there's something that is like a bot. So everyone, everybody is different. Everybody has
as in
their
everybody is
uniqueness.
disabled.
I'm not going to use that word. No. Everyone has their uniqueness. You have your strength, you have your weakness. And you mentioned someone that, someone with CP, of course, my very good friend, Tobiloba Ajayi.
Yes.
You understand? Wherever Toby is, she has cerebral palsy, obviously, but wherever she commands, audience, you just have to listen to her. She's very intelligent. Whereas some people without any, disability, either intellectual, they can't even talk in public. Extremely shy. That is a kind of disability because, you can't go out to speak to an audience. You're restricted. You're restricted. So it's not about labeling people. Give someone the chance to express themselves. Look at the person first before the disability. Know this person. Oh, this is Toby. You are Toby. I want to know you. Not about I want to know your, because you see an obvious disability, you want to tag the person or, labeling the person. You're going to miss a lot.
That's
are
true.
going to miss a lot. So
That's
it's
true.
about knowing the person first before seeing the disability.
Thank you, Folusho. Another thing I realize is when this thing happens, we don't seek medical help. We'll go to churches, to the mosque, to one bush, to one... We do all sort of things. So when they don't get intervention on time,
Early intervention is key.
it affects
Yes.
them in the future. So that's another thing that we need to do. Yes, I am a Christian. What can I do medically about this thing while praying? So that my prayer is working with my efforts.
With my faith and my...
And my efforts and my faith.
Yes.
So because we don't do this a lot of times, and that is why you see it, they now start trying to get intervention 10 years down the line, 13 years down the line, when the whole thing had collapsed.
Like even Paul was a lawyer, or something like that. He's always getting knowledge. You have to get knowledge. Even as a Christian, know what is happening around you. The world, everything, you need to. You can't just stay in isolation. Oh, I'm a Christian. No, Christians are supposed to be wise because we have a wise God. So when issues like this happen, okay, go to your church, ask your pastor, go to the hospital, ask, seek counsel from people maybe that have walked this path, but you have to be careful so you don't seek the wrong counsel. Go to the hospital. Like I said, it still boils down to our system. From the hospital, a lot of parents complain that the doctors will not tell them what this issue is, so they don't know what to do. So like I said, our system, we need to work with our system. From the hospital, there should be a counseling unit for the parents.
Yes.
If we have something like that, most fathers won't walk away. They would understand. But the mothers are left alone, confused. You understand? So the counseling must start from the hospital. Even the churches, we need counselors in church that would direct these people to specialists, to experts. Because the truth is, especially in Africa, we hold religion, sacred. So the church has a role to play. The mosques and all religion. Okay, this is it. This is not. It's not about spiritualism. I'm referring you back to your doctor. With this, a lot of things will change.
I like that. The church has a major role to play in this. When we bring it out and say, you know what, this is a challenge. Let's pray about this challenge, but let's get support, the necessary support as quickly as possible. I believe it will help a lot of people. It will even help the fathers.
Yes.
Because a lot of times when they see the thing, they now say, we don't have this in my family. If the wife says, okay, we don't have this in my family, what will happen to the child? What can we do as a people to make life easier for them? I know life is challenging for them, but as a people now, all of us, what can we do? What do you think we should do?
The Bible says, love your neighbors as yourself. Number one, love. Understand this. Ask what, like I tell our special parents, when they stare at the child or when they look perplexed or something like that, explain, educate them. I understand that most of us don't understand what disability is. It's when I started it that I really, understood what this is about. So I'm not blaming anybody. Anyone can be ignorant of a particular issue. Try to understand. Don't just assume. You understand? Try to understand. And then you can ask, how can I help? Sometimes they don't need your help. All they need is empathy, support.
That's the word.
And if you cannot help, just keep quiet. Don't make it worse. You understand? How can I help you? Sometimes the mother just wants to sleep for 1 hour. Okay, I can help you with the child while you go and take a quick nap or something like that. Tiny things count. And then if you are buoyant enough, you can help them with buying assistive device like wheelchair and all that. Even if you can, all they need is love, support, empathy, and inclusion. Include them. Invite the children for parties. Don't let them feel, among with their peers. You can just ask the parent, okay, how can I make your child comfortable at the party? What can I do, to make the child comfortable? That's all. Inclusion.
Inclusion is very important because we exclude them a lot. We exclude them a lot. We'll go on a short break again now. And when we come back, we'll continue on this discussion. Stay with us.
Enjoy inspirational, informative, and soul-lifting Christian programs such as Christian Parenting and Homefront, Light After Darkness, Fulfilling the Mandate, Kids and Bible, Movies Review, Shepherd's Spouse, Kingdom Stars, Teens Perspectives, My Next Gospel Event, and lots more on Divine Television. Download Divine TV mobile app on Google Play Store or watch on our YouTube channel. You can also visit www.tvdivine.net. Divine TV, enriching souls through the gospel of Christ.
You're welcome back. If you are just joining us on She World today, we are discussing about disability, people living with disability, and how we treat them. Folusho, you talked about inclusion now. And we know that at some parties, when you see children living with disabilities, they are abandoned. People shame them. What do you think would have caused this?
Is orientation and people projecting their fear because they don't understand what it is. Once you don't understand something, you are scared of it, and then you avoid it, and somehow you start misbehaving. It's just it. But things have changed because there are more enlightenment in schools. We have inclusive schools.
Yes.
Children with disabilities and children without disabilities, working together.
Yes.
So it's changing, and it shouldn't stop parents from bringing out their children, even when they're ashamed. Keep teaching your child on self-love. Keep teaching your child, and before you know, it will evolve. Things will change. When other children keep seeing these children, keep seeing the children, naturally they are empathic. They have empathy compared to adults.
Yes.
These children will embrace them.
One thing we really need to understand, as we are teaching our children, you're a boy, you're a girl, we should be teaching them there are some people that are a bit different from us. But because they are different doesn't mean they don't deserve love like they deserve love. Empathy is something we should teach right from childhood. Yes. One thing we have realized is what I am afraid of, I shame. What I am afraid of, I don't want to get involved with. So this enlightenment should not stop.
It's not even about teaching. It's showing them. Act it. It's one thing to say something, and it's one thing to do it differently. You don't need to teach your children about it. Funny enough, though I'm an advocate, I don't sit my children down and say, this is treat children with disability with lovely. They see what
you do.
So they understand. So there was this time in my daughter's class that she felt they were treating the child, the boy with autism, they were stigmatizing the boy. And, she came to me, she told me about it, that a facilitator, that's the special teacher, was not teaching the boy right, was not treating the boy right. She came to me and she complained, and I went back to school to complain. That's a child of, she was 7 years or something. It's not me just talking to her. She saw it from my action, the way I interact with persons living with disabilities and children living. So you have to show them. They will catch it, they will understand.
Showing is better than teaching. Let them see.
Let them see.
Like I normally say, monkey see, monkey do. What your child sees you doing is what they naturally do. So when we are doing all this, we are enlightening people, we are educating people, we are making people to realize that most of these things are not contagious. Because that's one major problem we have.
Yes.
Don't go near the person. When I was younger, when you see somebody that has epilepsy, they made it look as if I was an adult when I realized epilepsy is not contagious. And I'm saying an adult, I was almost in my 30s before I realized that. So you can imagine how I would have dealt with people living with that, even when I was younger. So a lot of us who are educated, our education shouldn't just be writing ABC or 1 + 1 = 2. We should understand more things. Why is this happening? Why did it happen?
Yeah.
Is it contagious? Because when we see that this is not dangerous to us, most likely we'll just be very easy with the person.
Children are very inquisitive. They will ask you.
Yes.
You know, maybe when they see a person with disability, a child on a wheelchair, you know, to them it's different. They will ask you. Do not shut them up. Do not say, keep quiet, like that is she or he is disrespecting the person. No, explain. Make the child understand. My son will keep asking me, why is this woman on wheelchair? Why is her hand short? Why is her? I will keep answering him. Do you understand? With that, you know, he's getting more knowledge, and when he grows up, it's not going to be new to him. Do you understand? There will be empathy. Things will change, and you always, you also want to change the narrative with other people.
I like that, because when we make sure people understand what is going on. Because a lot of times when we ask questions, when the child asks questions, Mommy, what is it? Shut up. What's your business? Face where you are going. The child does not understand what you are saying. The child is wondering, is this something I should run from?
Yes. And the child will start getting scared. And then he will project his fear. And then in future he will run. You understand? And the circle continues.
Oh, I like that. I like that. That we need to make sure when children are asking questions, we are answering them to the level of their knowledge.
Yes.
To the level of their knowledge. Because when we do that, obviously, they will get to understand all these things.
Yes.
And it won't be a big deal to them.
Yes.
What's your last word for us, generally as Nigerians, or people generally, how they deal with people living with disability?
Like I said, what you don't understand, you know, you get scared of it, you shame it, and you just run away from it. Please, please, they are just like us. Acceptance, include them, and you just find out that you'll be missing a whole lot. They are beautiful people, beautiful souls. God bless you.
Thank you, Folusho. We need to make sure that empathy is our watchword.
Yes.
How do you want to be dealt with? How do you want to be around other people? How do you want to be? Who are you? Do you want to be loved? Do you want empathy from people? Do you want people to treat you right? Remember, the Bible says, love your neighbor as yourself. If you want beautiful things, showcase it, project it. Love people living with disability. I've met a lot of them, and they are so beautiful to be around with. They don't need so much from you. They just need empathy. They need love. They need you to treat them like a human being that God created them as. And don't forget, God created them. You can't create anything. This is how we end this show today. This is She World on Divine TV. Remember, you are not an appendage of anybody. God created you for a purpose. Live your purpose and let other people live their purpose. See you next time. I still remain Kemi Walesi. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Divine TV, and download our app on Google Play Store. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Thank you.